Good morning, welcome. Hello. Welcome to SSUC, welcome to Southminster Steinhauer United Church. You're welcome in this circle. Regardless of how our journey was to get here this morning, whether it was white-knuckled or calm and relaxed, whether we're here in this circle together or joining us online, you're welcome and part of this community. This is a place where we gather as community to do so many different and varied things, to express human emotion, to express our gratitude for life, our grief, our joy, our frustration, our hope, our fears, our successes, our failures, and everything in between. And it's a place to be together in community, to know that we're not alone in doing this thing we call life. And so as we are together in all the circumstances of life, we know that we have each other, that there is a place where we can be ourselves. And speaking of being ourselves, it is a chance for us to affirm not only who we are, but also the kind of place we are building with each other as community. And so, as we always do, as we affirm our inclusion and our diversity and hopefully see ourselves in these words and in these commitments, we welcome each of us and each other to be who we are and who we're becoming. All sizes, all ages, all colors, all cultures, all genders, all sexualities, all abilities, all learning styles and neurotypes, all religions or none, all people. Welcome to community this morning. Every day is a chance to do something perhaps a little differently than we did it yesterday. Perhaps a chance to see ourselves and each other a little bit differently than we did yesterday. And so with every time the earth rotates toward the sun in our morning, it is a new day. It is dawning. And there's opportunity for us.
Good morning. As we light this candle, we take a moment to pause, breathe, and be present. May this flame symbolize our shared commitment to truth, respect, and understanding. May it remind us to listen with open hearts and to speak with kindness and intention. We acknowledge that we are gathered on traditional and unceded lands of the Indigenous peoples, who have stewarded this land for generations with deep and care and wisdom. We honor their history, culture, and ongoing contributions to this land. We recognize that acknowledgement alone is not enough, and commitment to learning, listening, and supporting Indigenous community in meaningful ways.
Thank you, Blair. As we continue in our gathering, I welcome anyone who wants to come forward for a time for all ages. It's our time on the carpet. It's our time to have a little experience together. Hi, everyone. Well, I'm glad we're here together this morning because I brought a bunch of things and I wanted you to help me to just dream a little bit here. Brought a couple of things. This is the first one. Do you know what this is? Lego. I didn't bring a lot of Lego. I went into my storage cupboard and then I realized, why do I have all of this Lego? Oh, yes. It's because of times like this. We need Lego in our lives. I want you to think for a minute. There's no right answers. There's no wrong answers. I just grabbed a handful of this Lego this morning. What could this be? What could we build? Maybe there's not enough to build it, but let's just use our imaginations. What do you think? An airplane, good idea. A helicopter, good idea. What else? What else?
Maybe some clothes.
Some clothes. Well, that is great. I love that. I'm sure it's Lady Gaga's next idea. A house, perfect.
A plane.
A plane, good idea. A treehouse, nice one. There's one wheel. A car with one wheel. Why not? Why not? That's a good idea. Okay, so this is great. You continue to look at that. I also brought some other things that I thought you could help me with. I brought a basket with sugar. I brought an egg.
Don't crack it.
And I brought some flour.
I know what happens. If you put an egg in sugary water, the outside of the egg just melts.
Oh my gosh, I hadn't thought of that. Putting an egg inside some sugary water, what might happen to the shell? That would be a great experiment.
Disappear because it's like chalk.
Oh my goodness.
Way into water.
What else could we make with egg, sugar, flour? I meant to bring some butter or oil, whatever. What could we make with this?
Oh, we can make scrambled eggs.
Scrambled egg.
Or maybe pancakes.
Pancakes. Yes. What else? What else could we make? I'm not saying we have everything we need, but what could we start making? Eggs. Cookies. That would be yummy. Waffles. Do you like waffles?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so that's great. There's no right answers here. I also brought this.
Open it. Open it.
What's in here? What could it be? Pardon? Sand. Maybe. Maracas, maybe. A slinky, maybe. What else? A pony. Yes, what else? This could be anything.
Car.
A car.
Shake it again. It feels like there's a lot of stuff in here.
A lot of stuff. Well, maybe. Maybe.
Small.
Well, we're not going to open it.
Really?
Really? I know. Rude, right? But we're not building the Lego either, and we're not making cookies or waffles. Why did I bring all this stuff? It's because I thought I wanted to talk to you about, I'm just going to hold the sugar close, and you can look at the present. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. Oh, this is lovely. I brought all these things. Chris, get to the point you're saying. I brought all these things because they all could be a lot of different things. And I have a word for that I want to tell you about. That word, maybe it's too big a word, I don't know, but that word is potential. These things this Lego could be almost anything. Let's not open the present.
No,
Thank
I'm
you.
just shaking.
Oh, you're just shaking. Thank you. You can shake. These ingredients could be a lot of things. That present could be a lot of things. So it made me think, I wonder if you could be a lot of things. I wondered if all of us have this potential to be anything, to be this creative sense of, it could be a lot of things. Look at this.
It can also, because we are made out of a lot of things, like we're made out of like bone, skin,
Yeah,
blood.
yeah.
Yeah. Or that.
We are made of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, lots of potential. So I think that you have all the ingredients you need in you to be all these wonderful things. Just like a handful of Lego and a bunch of ingredients and an unwrapped present. Can I have that, Schroeder? Thank you. We are going to see what happens. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next year, maybe in 10 years. We're going to discover and unwrap the present in us and see all the things that are possible. That's pretty exciting. That's really exciting that all of us have that potential in us. So, having said that, I invite you into the morning, whatever that is going to be for you. If it's youth space, if it's kid spirit, if it's being in this room together, we are going to see what unfolds. We could play too, yes. That's the risk. That's the risk. Okay, everyone, thank you for coming. Look at this. All the Lego is being given to the Lego collector over here. Excellent. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Good job, buddy. Good, good, good.
Morning has come.
So we'll have a few moments to share in some of the work and life of our community that's coming up. And I want to start with a thank you for all the ways that each and every one of you contribute to this community. Whether you're new or you've been here for years and years and years, we all find different ways of contributing. As complex as being part of committees and leadership and doing consistent work day in, week and week out, to as simple as being here and being present with your being. We are all participating in who we are as community, and so thank you. In the area of contributing financially, want to thank you for all of those who contribute regularly with your envelopes or with automatic withdrawals out of your bank account. Thank you for that. All of what we do is thanks to the support that you offer. There are ways to give today, either in a box or online or through grocery cards or many other ways. Thank you for all the ways that you might consider giving to the work that we're about. An invitation. If you are new or newer to this community, want to welcome you to grab a cup of coffee after, or whatever it is you might drink, or nothing, and join a little table that will emerge in our kind of coffee time afterward. We're just going to sit down and meet each other and have a chance to chat, ask questions, or get to know each other a little bit. So I'd love to meet you there if that's something you'd like to just mosey over to a table and join us this morning. And I want to invite you on behalf of Wes, on behalf of Evergreens, on behalf of our youth space. We are hosting tomorrow evening in honor of Trans Day of Visibility. We're hosting a rally here in this space. There's a lot of reasons to gather and to be strengthened, and also to strengthen our voice with those people who identify as trans, but particularly our youth, to say to them, there are safe spaces, there are people who care about you, and there are people who will work side by side with you in all that is troublesome about our world and about our government's legislation at the moment. So please consider being an ally, being a friend, being a support as we focus and train ourselves into what being an ally means, particularly on the Trans Day of Visibility tomorrow. I want to welcome Joan, who's going to come and talk to us about Thrifty Treasures. Thanks, Joan.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yeah. Hey, good morning. We're here to talk about Thrifty Treasures Market, which is only 2 months away. I guess it could be sun or rain or snow or who knows. So I'm Joan, and this is?
Dara.
So our committee has been working behind the scenes, but now you're going to hear a lot more from us in the next 2 months. Our committee are the two of us and Joseph. I don't know if Joseph is, he might be photocopying things for the back table. And Rebecca, I don't know if she's here this morning, but we have a great committee working hard. And Richard's here. Can you wave, Richard? Thank you. So we've made a few changes this year based on the evaluations from last year. And our donation forms and volunteer sign up are now live on the website. So you can go there and find that and sign up and get a volunteer donation form. We will have a few at the back today, and we'll keep trying to keep the hard copies of those on Sundays, but you can download them as well. So we'll be at the back, some committee members at the back table where our big sign is to answer questions, and to Dara's going to talk a little bit more about the volunteer sign up and how we can support you today if you want to take a look at that. Just a note for furniture donations, we're asking that you email a picture to us, and my email will be there. So we can see if we are able to bring those pieces in. They're going to be brought in this year instead of be online. And Dara's going to talk to you a little bit more right now about the volunteer process, but we've tried to be really inclusive, so there's lots of jobs, sitting jobs, standing jobs, jobs you can do from home, and Dara will expand on that. Thank you.
Mostly just because there's so many things to do, and that we've broken it up into smaller shifts. We're sticking with just an online sign up, so that's why I'll be in the back. And if you have any questions about how to sign up online, I can help you through that. We have 2 different sign-ups, one for the week leading up to the event, and then one for the date of the event, so that you can kind of manage your time a little bit better. A role that isn't on the volunteer sign-up, because we only need one person and we might not even need this, is we would like someone who'd be willing to learn how to use the Square machine for debit purchases. We have a couple of staff that are able to use it, but we're doing other things, so we really would need a volunteer for this event. But also, if you're wanting to learn the machine for other events, that would be super duper helpful, and you can just let me know in the back.
We have the great pleasure of welcoming Jimmy Morrison, who's here on behalf of Operation Friendship today to talk about what's happening at Operation Friendship and their coming Comfort and Care Gala. So thank you for being here, Jimmy. We love it when you visit, and we appreciate what you have to say.
Thank you. Every time I come back, I always picture Thelma and Neil that were always sitting over there looking at me when I got up here and spoke. So miss them a lot. Miss you guys. We're so grateful to be here. We are looking for your guys' support. It's the magical time of the year for us. It's our gala season. On there, Monday, May 26th is our gala. For those that don't know, this church is very special to our agency, as you guys have been around since the very beginning of Operation Friendship Senior Society. So we're hoping to fill 2 tables this year with you guys. Tickets are $100. You get a wonderful meal. You get to help. You bid on some items, have some fun. It's a real fun night on a Monday night. And all the money we raise goes to help our services and programs that we offer our seniors. So if you're interested, you can talk to Chris or Ainsley or the office. We're going to make it really easy on David this year. And we want to fill the 2 tables. That's the goal, 20 seats. So I'll come back in a few weeks, see where we are, and hopefully we can have you guys out there in Groves. If there's more people than 20, that's great. We have lots of room still left. So hopefully you guys can come out, support the wonderful night, and help us raise a lot of money to help the programs and services that we offer our seniors. Last year we were able to raise, with your support, over $42,000 for those programs. So thank you. Yes, there is a silent auction as well. So if anyone has some auction items they want to donate as well, just again connect to the head office, Ainsley, Chris, David, and we can definitely get those in the auction as well. And that will help. There's going to be everything from hotel packages to restaurants to experiences, you name it. We have a lot of cool stuff planned for this year for the gala as well. Thank you.
You can come and see me at the grocery cart table. I'm taking names for people that want tickets. If you don't have the money today, that's fine, but I'm just taking the names. Okay? Thank you.
I'll mention one other thing that that happened last year that is really cool. There were some people who wanted to donate to Operation Friendship and for this gala but couldn't attend. And there were some people that really wanted to attend but couldn't manage the ticket cost. And we put those two things together, and it was really lovely. So if you want to donate a ticket, or if you would really love to be there and would wonder how you could swing that, come talk to me. We'll make that happen. It's a really lovely opportunity as well. Well, we're going to transition now to celebrating in a different way. This week, we are honoring the life of Jim Robertson, who died on Monday evening. And Jim, as many of you know, was a beloved presence within this community. And I want to share just a little bit of who Jim was, just a tiny taste. Jim was born in Minnedosa, Manitoba, and I had never heard of that place. Maybe you have, but it's a tiny little place in Manitoba, and grew up on a farm not far from there. He considered himself, his brother had maybe some beef with it, but he considered himself the best farmer on the planet. He studied agriculture at the University of Manitoba and continued in graduate studies at the University of Alberta, where he was for the remainder of his long career. He devoted his life to the study and the care of the earth. Literally, the care of the earth. He was a professor of soil science at the U of A for his long tenured career. He expressed his nature and scientific-informed spirituality with the community of Southminster Steinhauer United Church. He would have loved this series we're currently talking about. He was a part of this community for decades, serving on committees with diligence, with a sense of humor, even with a flair for the dramatic. For those of you who knew his participation in fall dinners and his penchant for reading, particularly Robbie Burns. But our hearts remember his able and willing participation in almost anything he was asked to do. Our hearts are with Margaret, obviously, with his children and his grands, and all who knew and loved him. We celebrate his place in our lives, even as we mourn his death. And we're invited by the family to join in a memorial service and celebration of his life here in this space on Wednesday, April 9th at 2 p.m. So as is our custom, we'll sing in honor of Jim, affirming that even now he is safe in the undying light of love.
The one
Reading from Luke 17, 20 to 21. Some Pharisees asked Jesus when the kingdom of God would come. His answer was, "The coming of such a dream is not something that can be seen. No one will say, 'Look, here it is. There it is, over there,' because the kingdom of God is within you." These words passed down from a first century Christian community. May we find wisdom for our living.
Earth, as we've been told, is approximately 4.53 billion years old. And during its first 600 million years, constant bombardment from asteroids and comets and debris from the early formation of the planets in the solar system brought a host of precious compounds and waters to the rock that was eventually to become our Earth, but also created impossible conditions for life. Still, as things quieted down and as things cooled down, the stage was set for a primordial stew. And in that stew was brewing the first living creatures, at least 2.5 to 3.5 billion years ago. Single cells. I want to share a video with you from a TEDx Taipei session. It's about 4.5 minutes of Tom Chi talking a little bit about these single-celled organisms and what they did about 2.5 to 3.5 billion years ago.
Hello. My name is Tom Chi, and ever since I was a young child, I was determined to understand how the entire universe worked. Taking a deep breath is one of the most simple ways to connect with our own bodies, a deeply grounded, calming breath. But taking a deep breath was not something that was possible on this Earth 3 billion years ago. On this slide, we have the composition of the atmosphere of the Earth during that time period. We had about the same amount of nitrogen, but we had almost no oxygen at all. So you would be taking a breath in vain 3 billion years ago. And we actually had a huge amount of carbon dioxide. And the net effect was an almost inhabitable planet. The only organisms that could exist at that time were single-celled organisms inside of stromatolites and other closed spaces. Now, luckily for us, one of those organisms that was alive at this time was something called a cyanobacteria. And that's a picture of it in the background. And this organism has the special trick that we call photosynthesis, the ability to go take energy from the sun and transform carbon dioxide into oxygen. And over the course of billions of years, so starting from 2.5 billion years ago, little by little, these bacteria spread across the planet and converted all that carbon dioxide in the air into the oxygen that we now have. And it was a very slow process. First, they had to saturate the seas, then they had to saturate the oxygen that the Earth would absorb, and only then, finally, could oxygen begin to build up in the atmosphere. So you see, just after about 900 million years ago, oxygen starts to build up in the atmosphere. And about 600 million years ago, something really amazing happens. The ozone layer forms from the oxygen that has been released in the atmosphere. And it sounds like a small deal, like we talked about the ozone a couple decades ago, but it actually turns out that before the ozone layer existed, Earth was not really able to sustain complex multicellular life. We had single-celled organisms, we had a couple simple multicellular organisms, but we didn't really have anything like you or me. And shortly after the ozone layer came into place, the Earth was able to sustain complex multicellular life. There was a Cambrian explosion of life in the seas, and the first plants got onto land. In fact, there was actually no life on land ahead of that. Another way to go see this is kind of a chart of pretty much most of the animals that you guys are familiar with, and right at the bottom in time is the formation of the ozone layer. Like nothing that you are familiar with today could exist without the contributions of these tiny organisms over those billions of years. And where are they now? Well, actually, they never really left us. The direct descendants of the cyanobacteria were eventually captured by plants, and they're now called chloroplasts. So this is a zoom in of a plant leaf, and we probably ate some of these guys today, where tons of little chloroplasts are still trapped in contributing photosynthesis and making energy for the plants that continue to be the other half of our lungs on Earth. And in this way, our breaths are very deeply united. Every out-breath is mirrored by the in-breath of a plant, and their out-breath is mirrored by our in-breath. And I'm going to take a little aside here for a moment with this story, because imagine for a moment, and this is a thought experiment, imagine you were one of these little organisms 2 billion years ago. You might be born, you live a couple weeks, you die, and you kind of feel like, well, nothing really changed. I mean, I had no purpose in this life. Like, the world I came to is exactly the same as the world that I left. But what you wouldn't have understood is that every breath that you took contributed to the possibility of countless lives after you, lives that you would never see, lives that we are all a part of today. And it's worth thinking that maybe the meaning of our lives are actually not even within the scope of our understanding, because it's true of every one of these organisms, and it may also be true of us.
It's fun when a scientist gets philosophical at the end there. It's cool to me that we have the potential to learn something of our humanity from the facts of a single-celled organism that lived 2.5 billion years ago. This very reality of our own planetary ancestors reveals profound truths about us. We are, like he said, connected through our breath. Not just with every plant that is the other half of our lungs, as he said, but through the very fact that the conditions of a breathable atmosphere are linked all the way back to these cyanobacterias. Every breath is a testament to that connection, past, present, future. And secondly, another truth. When we ponder our own significance, like he suggested, when we ask questions like, are we making a difference? Do we have purpose? We're usually thinking about the things we will create and do, and the relationships we will cultivate in our lives. And those are important questions, but we often skip the very biological reality and significance of our existence. We're encouraged through interpretations of people like Tom Lee in thinking about the surprising significance of one organism in all that could come after, to look beyond our own time, our own space, beyond our lives, to the impact that our living has. In her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, Brené Brown shares a profound discovery from her research. There is only one thing that separates people who feel a deep sense of love and belonging from those who don't. What is it? It's a belief that they are worthy of love and belonging. In other words, if I don't feel a sense of connection, love, and belonging in my life right now on some level, then it's highly likely that I'm holding a belief that I'm not worthy of it, as is. And if I do feel a sense of connection, love, and belonging in my life right now, then I'm likely holding a belief that I am worthy of it, as is. It makes me ponder how many obstacles we put up in front of our own worthiness, our own significance and sense of belonging. How often we think, well, I need to work harder or eat better or exercise more or declutter or make more time for me and my friends or achieve this or that, because then I would feel more organized or more well or more with it or have my life together and therefore be more worthy of love and belonging. Most of us have this lurking kind of personal to-do list that thrives on this underlying belief that we need to do something, preferably yesterday, in order to earn our right to be loved, to belong, to be productive on this planet. Our whole commodity culture feeds on that unhappy belief. And because we let ourselves go to this place of needing to earn whatever love or contentment or peace or belonging, then we have an attitude of all or nothing at times. We think, well, then until things change, the whole game is under protest. Can't continue, can't go on, can't do these little things in my life because, well, I'm just not there yet. As is never good enough. We object that some aspect of life, we object to it as it is. And most of the barriers that we hold against accepting ourselves as is comes from the inside. They hide inside the belief that some part of our story should never have happened, should not be happening, is not acceptable in some way. Well, you know what? If all of us said that some part of our life should never have happened or shouldn't be happening right now, life is messy for all of us. None of us, no matter what we tell ourselves, when we look at someone else and we think, well, they have it together, you're wrong. They do not. We're all working on being better and improving. This goes without saying. We're all working at doing the best we can while we make changes and adjustments. But those changes happen best when they happen over a foundation of us recognizing our value and worth as is. That we have a sense of love for ourselves. That we're actually worthy of love and belonging. That we are significant and valuable as is. Just like on Facebook Marketplace. As is. Dents, scratches. You don't go and meet someone in the grocery store parking lot for that item and expect it to be perfection. We are the items that are scratched and dented, and we take them as is. Okay, something else. I want to invite us to return to our breath, because this whole idea of oh my gosh, that those cyanobacteria are still alive and present within every plant. So I want to invite us to return to our breath. In whatever way is comfortable for you, take a few good ones, please. Breathe in and think of all the organisms over eons that have lived and died to create the atmosphere, the ozone layer, the oxygen that we're now breathing. Breathe in and think of that oxygen now enriching your blood and traveling through every part of your body. Offer a grateful thought to the significance of all that has come before and is. The plants in this room, the trees outside these windows, the grass even trying its best under the snow. And then take a few more good ones and breathe out and think of all you're doing for these same plants, providing that raw carbon dioxide for them that they need to survive, that they will use along with the sun to photosynthesize and breathe back the oxygen again in a great circle of partnership. Offer a grateful thought as you breathe out to your own significance in the life and the thriving of others. We are significant. All of us in our being and beyond our living. A prophet of the first century, the great wisdom teacher from Nazareth, said it this way: the coming of the kingdom of God is not something that can be seen. No one will say, look, here it is, or there it is over there. Because that dream, that kingdom, is within you. If you'll allow it, I want to translate that phrase, that teaching, through the lens of an expansive, non-theistic spirituality. You're saying, what? Well, just go with me. There was a time when we looked to an external being, presence, force, something beyond us, to be the source and the agent of change in our lives. We once prayed to this God called God, God, and we hoped that this God called God would act. There are quite a few examples, though, today's readings being one of them, where the stories of Jesus of Nazareth help us to see in a different, expansive, open way. These words encourage us to see agency located in a different place. We ourselves, individually and collectively as community, are the source and the agents of change. Where is the responsibility? The responsibility is with us. As those who can draw upon our collective reason, our experience, our wisdom, our rootedness to act for good, to act for ourselves, to act for each other, to act for this planet. Nobody else is going to save it. We are. Everything we need to meet the moment is what Jesus is saying. Everything we need to meet the moments and challenges of our life is within us. That is where this dream resides. In our own beautiful and imperfect as-is selves. It's been with us since the birth of the universe. It's found its way in the cooling of elements that became our planet, in the cyanobacteria that with each single cell made this planet hospitable for every creature that came after. Its wisdom is revealed in the great evolving of life as humans in this precious moment. What we need is here. It starts with knowing we are significant beyond measure and beyond our own understanding, as is, and as the recipients of billions of years of what has come before. The reality of our worthiness and our belonging puts us in a family tree, a history of beings. And that family tree is all around us and within us. That whole world, that whole kingdom is here. It's all we need. It's within us. And what we do next will be to bring all of that, all of who we are, to our acts of service, to our affirmation of each other's worth, to our continued evolution towards those who will make the world a more sustainable place of evolving growth, of depth, of compassion, of love. All of that comes into play because we know that we're evolving our ethical capacity that will allow us to make better choices tomorrow than we did today. And that will impact those far beyond what we can see. Our circles, sure. The people who know about us, sure. The people we may meet once, sure. People beyond our own living, yes. 2.5 billion years ago, from now, 2.5 billion years from now, we might not be the same organisms, but it might be thanks to us that those ones exist. All we need is here, even if we don't yet see the full wonder and significance of that future. And I can't end without again ending with the poet. The Wild Geese by Wendell Berry, the second half of it. Geese appear high over us, pass, and the sky closes. Abandon, as in love or sleep, holds them to their way, clear. In the ancient faith, what we need is here. And we pray not for new heaven, new earth or heaven, but to be quiet in heart and in eye clear. What we need is here. So just to say, thank you, Wendell Berry. We are significant, all of us, worthy of love and belonging in our being and beyond our living. If we forget, let's just take a breath. We'll remember the plants and our ancestors, those single cells, who lived and breathed for us all. May we embrace it and continue the evolving work of becoming.
Please join me with strengthening our intentions. What joy and wonder that we are part of this evolving universe on a Goldilocks planet, with just the right conditions to make our existence possible. May we open to the gift of being, the wisdom of earth and sun, and the marvels of the expanding universe that birthed us. May we awaken to the evolutionary wisdom hidden in every element, creature, and discovery, that it might help us touch the deep memory of our existence. Let's embrace the scientific and the spiritual, the discovery and the mystery, the academic and the creative, knowing they are all point us to understanding, connection, and beauty. In our living, we commit to claiming our place in the long cosmic story that connects us to all that is, and know we belong. We pray these words and intentions in community that we might be changed and inspired to do more.
We are joined together in a bond of love, with cords of freedom and of duty. Connected to each other, our spirits are strong in a bond of wonder and of beauty. Made by all of us, for all of us, fashioned by everybody's hands. All our differences, all we share, woven into many colored strands. And this bond will hold us through the storm, and encourage us when hope seems gone, knowing that together we belong. We'll extend our care to the ends of the earth, and love will ever be our song. Shared by all of us, with all of us, offered with love that's full and free. Chords of sympathy, chords of joy, stronger for our mutuality. And this bond will hold us through the storm, and encourage us when hope seems gone, knowing that together we belong. We'll extend our care to the ends of the earth, and love will ever be our song.
Well, there are no better words really than those to send us into our sense of being worthy of love and connection and belonging, to be one with this planet and the cosmos, than these words of Scott's. Knowing that together we belong, we'll extend our care to the ends of the earth, and love will ever be our song. May it be so.